Let us continue reading this book by Uriah Smith, Daniel and Revelation, 1897. Our Father in heaven, thank you so much for the short window of freedom that we have as the persecution and tribulation is coming. May your saints be faithful to your commandments and be faithful, just like the faith of Jesus, the Son of God. I pray in his name. Amen. Daniel chapter 1, verses 3 to 5. The Holy Scriptures has this to say. And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuch, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in all wisdom, and cunning in knowledge, and understanding science, and such has had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning of the tongue of the Chaldeans. And the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat, and of the wine which he drank, so nourishing them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king. Uriah Smith comments, we have in these verses the record of the probable fulfillment of the announcement of coming judgments made to King Hezekiah by the prophet Isaiah, more than 100 years before, when this king had vaingloriously shown to the messengers of the king of Babylon all the treasures and holy things of his palace and kingdom. It was told that all these good things should be carried as trophies to the city of Babylon, and nothing should be left, and that even his own children, his descendants, should be taken away and be eunuchs in the palace of the king there. 2 Kings chapter 20, verses 14 to 18. It is probable that Daniel and his companions were treated as indicated in the prophecy. At least we hear nothing of their posterity, which can be more easily accounted for on this hypothesis than on any other. Though some think that the term eunuch had come to signify office rather than condition. The word children, as applied to these captives, is not to be confined to the sense to which it is limited at the present time. It included youth also, and we learn from the record that these children were already skillful in all wisdom, cunning in knowledge and understanding science, and ability in them to stand in the king's palace. In other words, they have already acquired a good degree of education, and their physical and mental powers were so far developed then that a skillful reader of human nature could form quite an accurate estimate of their capabilities. They are supposed to have been about 18 or 20 years of age. In the treatment which these Hebrew captives received, we see an instance of the wise policy and the liberality of the rising king Nebuchadnezzar. Instead of choosing, like too many kings of latter times means for the gratification of law and base desires, he chose young men who should be educated in all matters pertaining to the kingdom, that they might have efficient help in administering its affairs. He appointed them daily provision of his own meat and wine instead of the coarse fare which would have thought good enough for captives. He offered them his royal viands. For the space of 3 years, they have all the advantages that the kingdom afforded. Though captives, they were royal children, and they were treated as such by the humane king of the Chaldeans. The question may be raised, why these persons were selected after a suitable preparation to take part in the affairs of the kingdom? Were there not enough native Babylonians to fill these positions of trust and honor? It could have been for no other reason than that of Chaldean youth could not compete with those of Israel in the qualifications, both mental and physical, necessary to such a position. May God our Father continue to bless you and his Son be gracious to you, now and forevermore. Amen.